Saul Canelo Alvarez. Jermell Iron Man Charlo.
So it's going down. Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo, both fighters made weight. Both fighters came in at 167.4 pounds. We got a fight. It's going down. Jermell Charlo going into this fight, the whole story leading up to this fight. Now, mind you, nobody really asked for this fight, but the story of this fight is the calm, coolness of Jermell Charlo, who's usually pretty hot-blooded and riled up, right? Going to some of his previous fights, he was a little bit more riled up going into those particular matchups. But for this one, he's been cool, calm, and collected.
Jermell, you've been calm, cool, collected throughout this build. When does that switch flip and the lion comes out?
When it's time to step in that ring, we know what time it is. It don't matter how they hype him up. They got it popping in here. I love it. I enjoy it. I do this for us, baby. I do this for that culture that they talk about. I do this for the culture that they hate on. Hey, it's time. I'm a bad motherfucker.
One more. You can hear this is Canelo territory. What are they going to be saying about Jermell Charlo Sunday morning?
Hey, Lil Charlo a bad motherfucker. Yes, sir.
Best of luck to you, Jermell.
And after hearing Jermell Charlo's statement after the weigh-ins, he seemed to be trying to amp himself up. But something that I noticed, right, that he stated throughout this week is that the reason why he's calm is because he don't got his rowdy-ass brother with him. I think Jermell Charlo, now fans say they sense nervous energy from Jermell and everything else, right? You can see it in his face that there's something just kind of, I don't know, maybe people looking too much into it, but something seems a little off. And what your boy Bushido think it is the fact that his brother is not actually there with him. And throughout Jermell Charlo's career, his big bro, Jermall Charlo, has always been there. And then you heard him say Lil Charlo. He even acknowledged himself as Lil Charlo. What's really bothering Jermell Charlo, and he may not come out and say it, but it's probably the fact that his brother isn't there with him. The guy who's always been there with him since the beginning, since day one. And for the biggest fight of Jermell Charlo's career, his twin brother Jermall isn't there with him. They're at odds. And one thing I would like to see is that for Jermall Charlo to walk out with his brother tomorrow night or tonight, whenever you watch this video. I would like to see Jermall Charlo and Jermell Charlo walk out with each other. And Jermall Charlo is there to support his brother in the biggest fight of his career. Looking at Canelo Alvarez, he looks extremely confident going into this fight. Almost like he already know that victory is certain. Some people question, did Jermell get that white letter in the mail? I hope that's not the case. I hope Jermell Charlo comes out and puts up a performance of a lifetime. But looking at Jermell Charlo's physique at 168 pounds, he looks good. You can still see abs and everything else. It makes you wonder how the hell how was he making 154 pounds all these years with that frame that he has that seems to be able to carry 168 pounds. We're going to see how he performs in the ring, right? But it seems like he's able to carry that weight very well. He don't look weight drained. He don't look tired. He looked like he was ready to go. Yeah, he still even has some abs, right? So ultimately, I expect a great fight. I expect at least one of the fights or multiple fights tomorrow night to be great because it's a stacked card. However, the build-up to this fight has been somewhat lackluster. A lot of people is blaming Jermell Charlo for the lackluster build-up to this fight, but you know we can't put it all on Jermell Charlo, right? Even though we expected him to be the one to be the antagonist going into this thing, we can't always expect that. Jermell Charlo seemed to have matured as a man, and he seemed to be taking a different approach. I mean, it may not be the approach that we want, right? Me personally, I feel that he should have brought that lion out just for this one last time, right? I understand that he's maturing and he's growing and he's calming down as he's getting older, but I think he should have brought that young lion out this one last time just for this fight, just to help push this thing further. Because we hearing that it's not going to be a great fight. However, when you look at that crowd that showed up for that weigh-in, it looked like that crowd alone looked like it's bigger than some of the events and some of the high-profile fighters we've seen, right? It was more people at that weigh-in than I've seen in probably Jerron Boots in his last fight. And I'm not trying to take shots at Boots, but I'm just using it as an example. There's a lot of people to show up to see Canelo Alvarez. There's a pro-Canelo Alvarez crowd. Jermell Charlo must acknowledge that he's going to be 3 rounds before he steps into that ring. But I'm hoping for a good fight, man. May the best man win. Early on, I had Jermell winning. Then it started leaning towards 50-50. And now I feel like Canelo Alvarez is going to get the job done. I'm rooting for Jermell to pull it off, but I think Canelo's going to get it done. But yeah, you guys, that's the video. Jermell Charlo said he's a motherfucker. He said he's about to show the world that he's the little Charlo Lions only. You know, he tried to bring it out, but I think it would help a little bit more if he had his brother with him. Hopefully they can squash this thing within the next 12, 14 hours. And it'll be cool to see Big Charlo walking out with Lil Charlo in the biggest fight of his career. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.